In September 2001, just a week before the world would change forever, a young Indian student flew to the United States to study at Princeton University. She had won a scholarship, partly funded by a company that makes breakfast cereals, all of this kind. She was very excited, full of hopes. Like so many Indian students before and after her, she believed in the idea that America was the land of opportunity. Her first impression was overwhelming. Huge department stores, fancy buildings, and everything seemed to be very rich, clean, organized. She had come from Kolkata, where things were very chaotic but warm. Still, this new lifestyle was making her feel as if she was a part of something really big. Then, just a week later, on September 11, 2001, the United States was struck with a major incident. Terrorists attacked one of the America's sites and suddenly everything changed. She remembers sitting in her room viewing the news, shocked like everybody else. But something else happened. Her American roommate, a cheerful girl who had a Confederate flag on her wall, which the Indian girl kind of didn't understand at that point of time, said something that made her freeze. "Those monkeys out there just want our bananas." Well, she joked it, blaming people from other countries for the attack. That was the moment the Indian student realized too many Americans, she was one of those monkeys out there. After that, things became tougher. She started dressing differently, just like the Americans do, just to be, avoided getting targeted. Her aunt told her not to wear traditional Indian clothes like salwar kameez. She got pulled aside at every airport checkpoints. She saw her Sikh friends being targeted too because people didn't understand the difference between a turban and a terrorist. But at the university, she still had the freedom to protest. She marched against the Iraq war. She argued in the class, she joined rallies, and even though there were moments of fear, she still believed in the freedom of speech and education that America offered. That freedom to speak, to learn, to protest is what kept her in the United States so far than she expected. But yes, she wasn't alone. Every year, thousands of Indian students go to the US for higher education. Indian professors teach in some of the best American universities. Indian workers drive taxis, run motels, manage gas stations, forming the backbone of many cities, specifically places like New Jersey and New York. In the meantime, NRIs send billions of dollars back to India every single year. In fact, Indian migrants are world's top source of remittances, money that help families survive, pay for education, buy a home, or start a business in India. In recent months, something very disturbing has happened, by the way. Indian students in the US have started getting their visa cancelled. Not for crimes, not for any serious issue, but for something as small as reposting a meme on social media. That's it. One Indian student activist, Badar Khan Suri, was detained. Another student, Ranjani Srinivasan, fled the country in fear that she would be the next target. The very freedom to speak and question, something this Indian teacher once believed in, now seems to be fading in America. Then the question is, what did the Indian government do? Absolutely nothing. No strong statement, no legal help, no support for these students who carry Indian passports. Shackled and deported, and that too without a word. And it's not just the students. Across the US-Mexico border, Indian migrants trying to enter the US are getting caught, chained, and sent back to India in shackles. Literally handcuffs like criminals. You may remember the tragic story of Jagdish Patel, right? Who died in the freezing cold with his entire family, with his wife, with his children, while trying to cross into Canada from the US. He was holding his toddler in his arms when they all froze to death. Now the US has started sending plane loads of Indians back in chains. Still, India remains silent. Now compare this to Mexico. When Mexican migrants are deported, their president, Claudia Sheinbaum, fights back. She made sure Mexicans are not shackled during deportation. When they return, the government welcomed them with the job offers or proper dignity. They are made to feel like citizens, not criminals. But in India, they don't even get a press release. Well, the writer of this story says something powerful. She's not heartbroken because of America. America actually failed her, but that didn't affect her. After all, she was just a guest in that particular country. She is heartbroken because her own country, India, has turned its back on its own people. We were told we are a strong country, a country that cares for its people whenever they need them. So, where is that country now? Why is the Indian government silent when its students are scared, its workers are chained, and its citizens are being abandoned abroad? Why is no one asking, what can we do for our people overseas? In the end, for millions of Indians living and working abroad, from any professor to students, from engineers to cab drivers, the pain is not just about facing racism or being mistreated in a foreign country. The deeper pain is that when we look back towards India for help, we see silence. And that silence hurts more than anything else.